So in our law office, we deal with some of the most severely injured clients. Now these are folks who before their injuries led very active lifestyles, often working 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week at least. And that was mostly what their lives revolved around. When somebody like that suffers one of these catastrophic type injuries, oftentimes our clients are forced to spend months and months just sitting at home basically doing nothing, trying to heal from their injuries. And this can be an extremely difficult adjustment for people to make. And you add to that, the symptoms that come on of depression, anxiety, in many cases post-traumatic stress disorder, nightmares, reliving of the accident, and add to that eventually a doctor's opinion that, look, you're not going to be able to go back to doing this job you loved for 20, 30 years. You've got a prescription for a pretty bad psychiatric breakdown. So hi, I'm Joe Miller, a workers' compensation attorney in both Virginia and North Carolina. And that's what I want to talk about today, which is, psychiatric injuries and seeking psychiatric help and treatment for situations where someone has suffered a catastrophic work accident. The first thing you need to know and is that it is completely normal to have difficulty adjusting to such a drastic change in your life. I mean, especially when this change affects your livelihood. I mean, listen, let's face it. We still have this sexist, societal attitude, but it's true. As men, especially, we like to be the ones that are the providers. We like to be the ones that are providing a livelihood. And when that gets taken down, it can be crushing for a man to no longer be able to provide for his family. Add to that, men are oftentimes far less likely to want to share their feelings about what they're going through, or they're ashamed to do so. So I want to just say, for those of you, whether you're men or women or what have you, that have gone through a severe work accident, a catastrophic type work accident, and you're having these feelings of depression, of inadequacy, of nightmares and anxiety, panic attacks, whatever it may be, I'm giving you permission here to seek out professional psychiatric help, whether in the form of a psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever it may be, to address these issues. And there are many advantages to doing this, not just in terms of your treatment and getting better from these things, but also in terms of your case, in terms of your workers' compensation case. And that's what I want to address today. Oftentimes, my experience has been our clients are when they're women, there often has been some type of trauma or psychiatric thing in the past, as well as the catastrophic injury, some kind of depression or something from their past, that now that the injury has occurred, this also has been brought back to the fore and has been reactivated and re-aggravated. So now not just are they dealing with the horrible weight of, ton of bricks of this psychiatric injury, but they also have to deal with the old problems that they had that they thought they'd taken care of, but have now come back and are aggravating and destroying their life all over again. So again, there's a lot of reasons to bringing the fact that you're struggling with these things to the attention of your authorized treating physician. That will entitle you to a referral. Now in Virginia, that's going to mean that you get if your doctor does give you a referral to a psychologist to address these issues, that's going to entitle you to a 3-doctor panel from which you get to choose one of these mental health care providers. In North Carolina, it's just going to mean either that the doctor is going to refer you, or if you have an attorney that'll work with the insurance company or the defense attorney to try to find you a psychologist or a psychiatrist that will treat you for these things. But either way, you're going to be entitled to treatment because your authorized treating physician has given you a referral. And from our perspective as attorneys, it's better to start out with a psychiatrist. Psychiatrists can prescribe you medicine, and a psychologist cannot. We recommend as attorneys, from our perspective, that it's best to start out with a psychiatrist. Why? First of all, some of these medicines that they're prescribing now are absolutely nothing short of miraculous. I've seen people go from waking up every night in a cold sweat several times a night and reliving their accident and not be able to sleep at all, to maybe having that experience once a week, all because of 1 milligram of prazosin, 1 milligram of a medication that's designed to basically reduce or even eliminate almost the nightmares that you're suffering from. And I've also seen other people that, after their work injury, they're, and after being cooped up for so long and after worrying about everything and having everything reactivated, they can't even leave the house. They're afraid to leave the house. And so I've seen it go from that to being able to return to some measure of normalcy again. Again, in large part due to a combination of the medication and the psychotherapy. Also, this is a second advantage that's really important to mention. What we've seen many times is people get in a situation, they've got these catastrophic injuries, and their orthopedic surgeon or their neurosurgeon or what have you is ready to give an opinion that, look, you're ready to go back to work. So from a physical standpoint, the person is ready to go back to work. But from a mental standpoint, even if they haven't treated with anyone, they've got an undiagnosed psychiatric injury that is just, there's no way they're going to be able to go back to work. It's going to trigger Lord knows what. We had one client who literally, if he saw a work site that was similar to the one where he was hurt and had an amputation, he would literally throw up immediately. That was his first reaction, and then it would have panic attacks and things like that. So this is a real thing. It's not just, oh, I'm upset because I can't go back to the work site. Also, you think of it this way. If you have been treating with a psychiatrist or a psychologist, that can be sometimes your last line of defense that's going to protect you from having to return to a job that you can't handle when you've got a doctor who wants to send you back to work really way before you're ready. So now you have a psychologist saying no. They're going to write you a work note that says you are not to go back to work right now because you're in steady treatment for all your psychiatric injuries. Let's say the doctor sends you back to work and you don't have a psychologist in place to write you that work note. What's your choice now? It's either to quit your case, quit your job. There really is no good choice. So, I'm begging you right now as an attorney who sees this all the time, don't let yourself be in that situation. If you got a catastrophic injury, if you're having these psychiatric issues, seek help. First, go to your authorized treating physician and please ask them if they will please give you a referral, and do it as early as you can if you're suffering from these symptoms. A third advantage to reporting this, and to your authorized treating physician, getting the referral and starting to treat with an appropriate mental health care provider, is that, when I'm looking to settle a claim, okay, when you're at maximum medical improvement, I'm looking to project out what your future care is like. And if, you've pretty much healed from your physical injuries to the fullest extent you can, and you're not taking any pain medicine or anything like that, but psychiatrically you're a mess, I'm going to be able to project out the cost of those future psychiatric medicines and the cost of the future treatment, et cetera. If you don't have that diagnosis, I'm going to have much less to work with on the settlement sides. So if you're having these kind of issues, don't leave it undiagnosed, don't leave it untreated. Get it taken care of within the context of your workers' comp claim so we can put it in your workers' comp claim, make sure you're covered, make sure you're treated, and make sure you're protected, most importantly, from having to return to work when you're nowhere near ready from a psychiatric or mental standpoint. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're suffering from these issues, you should know that we deal with a lot of folks who have PTSD, anxiety, depression. It's very common in our clients, and we make sure that if we have our staff kind of sensitized a little bit to this sort of thing to tell our folks, look, maybe you ought to talk to somebody about this. Maybe you ought to tell your authorized treating physician. If you're a loved one who has been in a work accident, suffered a catastrophic injury, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the number on the screen, or look us up online. And again, this is Joe Miller, Workers' Compensation Attorney. Joe Miller out.